This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 870, Ninja Cartography. Enjoy. I know the world map has always been one of those really finicky things, going back years to the point where we felt the need to design our own world map where we would effectively be copying the world map, taking pictures of it, and then putting it out on the internet in a much more usable format. But nowadays, barring wiki integration, I think the world map has come a long way, and this week takes it even further. I want to talk about, in particular, the fact that now woodcutting trees, the fishing spawns, divination colonies, and farming patch resource icons on the map will now display site-specific information in their tooltip, and their skill guide now lists the major locations where these can be gathered, like you have in mining and archaeology.
Nice.
This blew my mind when I saw it. This is probably one of the biggest updates. I'm not going to say biggest updates. I'm going to say biggest ninja strikes that they have done. And definitely, since this falls into the patch notes category, is one of the biggest patch notes so far of 2022. Just for the pure accessibility.
I'm sure it probably took a lot of work to put it in. And I'm glad that it brings it up to the more current skills. But at the same time, like, I have to ask myself, how often do I use the world map? I use my mini map, constantly.
Yeah.
All the time. That's how I navigate. But I think for the longest time, the world map was kind of like sparse, and I didn't use it a lot.
Yeah.
Now maybe it'll be a lot more useful.
Yeah. And the thing that really kicked it off over the top for me is that at the farming allotment spots and the herb patches, if you mouse over a farming patch, it not only shows what grows there, it shows what the current patch state is.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa. No, that's a game changer.
And you guys might have thought I was overselling this, but this is what makes it huge in my opinion.
I get it now.
That's a big one.
I get it now. I was kind of sleeping on this this Ninja Strike a little bit, because I'm going to be honest, there's a couple things I've wanted the world map to have for a while that just didn't happen with world map improvements. I guess got a little salty.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fantastic. I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize it did the same thing for divination as well. I thought it was just fishing and woodcutting for some reason.
No,
that was stuck in my head earlier this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, the patch status, that's pretty great.
And also, of course, for the trees as well, shows what the tree is and what resource you get from it. Ivy, it says no resource, just an XP trading method. But of course, if you look at other things like the crystal tree, same thing. Then you go to willow trees, those are even listed. Magics used and whatnot were, of course, listed before, but those now all show the resources all the way up and through to Elder. So my biggest use case for this is going to be if that it is time to do a wood tree farming run, and sometimes we don't know if the fruit trees are ready to go with that, is that you'll just be able to, in effect, pop open the world map to the last patch you went to on your last farming run and see if it's ready to go. Because there have been numerous cases where I've tried to go on a farming run, but for some reason the calquid or the fruit trees didn't finish all the way their growth cycles to the point where they were going to be done. So having this would have definitely helped to know that, okay, let's just give this another cycle before we head out on the farming run. So I like that. I think that as well will probably get me using the world map a little bit as well. Because it's something that I've never really touched. No.
Before, after about like 5 years ago. It's just, most things, like if I want to find where a specific resource is, I'll just /wiki it. But just be able to go to the world map and find that is great. I already started doing that for archaeology a little bit. But, this is just fantastic. Just very useful.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've actually, just speaking of using the world map, one of the things that I've started doing with it is that, if I'm trying to figure out where something specifically is that I don't know offhand, What I will do is, rather than just finding it on the map, and the things that initially before this week that came to mind with that were the mining resources, was that I would just pop open the map, and then on the world map you can actually click on the lodestones on the world map, and then it will just teleport you directly to that lodestone. You don't need to open the lodestone UI. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I think I already knew that.
Not.
All right. And as for finding things, you could effectively just make it so that it would show that all the farming patches and nothing else on the world map, if that's what you were after with that. And then you would just be able to, in effect, see where everything is and what you might be missing. So big deal on that front. And, I think we also just need to talk about the fishing side of it, too, because there's so many fishing spots in game. But if you are using a different bait, or if you're using a different fishing tool, it's not immediately clear what you're going to get. And with this, now, every fishing spot, you'll be able to just mouse over it and see what you get from it.
Yeah, that is nice.
Like in Canterbury with the net, you can get, of course, the shrimps, the anchovies, or if you bait, you get the sardines or herrings. You also have cage and harpoon fishing there that gives you lobster, tuna, and swordfish. The tuna and swordfish, obviously, for the latter two. Big net fishing, and then harpoon member fishing as well. Shark spots there. So it just makes it really easy to be able to find what you get from each fishing spot, which has always, in my view, been something that was very obtuse. So this is a huge update, and I cannot underscore how much this one is appreciated. And it's just like, we're expecting a bit of a quiet patch week, but lo and behold, here we are. This is a pretty big deal. So,
yeah, I think it's just great to have that information in the game. You don't have to go somewhere external to find it. You can just open your map and it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the only one that would be good to add on to this is probably hunter training, because those ones are still just say hunter training method. Is there anything else that's missing? Hunter?
Don't think so.
Yeah, it just seems like hunter is the only one that's left out there.
Thieving, maybe?
Ooh, that's actually.
Yeah, I think that could work.
Yeah, show where all the safes are and show the level on the safe.
Cracking locations.
I can't recall. Do stalls have an icon? I don't think they do. Or is there a specific thieving location icon?
Actually, I don't think there is a thieving location icon.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map now. I don't see one.
Well, things like the Silk Trader and the various shops do it in Ardoy, but it doesn't say that you can steal from them.
Yeah, those are mostly just distributed throughout the different shops, so they're kind of handled under the shop icons, I suppose.
Yeah. They also updated, of course, all the font, and has made it so that the font's a bit bigger and to be more in line of what's expected with the modern RSUI conventions. So
that I love.
You can find full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video useful or just enjoyed it, like and subscribe, or leave a comment.